welcome back to Cross Stitch the Globe. This is a channel about cross stitch. My name is Stephanie. Normally I'm accompanied by my sister Allison, but she was quite sick over the weekend when we were supposed to film, and so I posted on Instagram a couple topics that I could do by myself that Allison's not particularly interested in. Allison does thrift. You've already seen what topic one, but Allison does thrift, but more like with the purpose, not just for like recreation. So I thought it'd be fun to take you guys to cross stitch thrifting with me, and I explain all that in the video in the next clip. So I will go too into that, but just kind of as like a to set the table. I don't know. I like purchasing secondhand cross stitch equipment. I like using vintage hoops. I like stitching. I stitch a lot of new patterns, but I do like stitching out of print or like thrifted patterns. I like going to vintage stores and antique stores, and there's a lot of places that you can find secondhand cross stitch equipment and patterns and things. So this is obviously like, I went to 5 thrift stores, and I'm gonna take you guys with me, and then at the end I'll show you guys all the stuff that I bought and we'll talk about it. But and then I'll recommend a couple other floss tubes that always show or typically show some good thrifted or flea market finds. But just if you're interested in the world of like purchasing cross stitch secondhand and you haven't thought about it too much, the kinds of like world of places to go would be thrift stores, antique stores, and vintage stores. They all kind of do things a little bit differently and are priced differently. It's kind of like thrift is the cheapest, then vintage, then antique stores can get pricey. But you can get good deals there, especially on like patterns and stuff. I bought used stuff on Facebook Marketplace and eBay. We have a whole video about tips for buying cross stitch on eBay. And then if you are very active in the cross stitch community, sometimes someone will come across something and they'll reach out to you and say like, do you want to buy this? Like, and that's great, one-to-one sales. Then there's also places that I haven't personally purchased items, but I've gone to and like looked and hoped, garage sales, rummage sales, and estate sales. And then there's also there's several Facebook de-stash groups where people sell things, and then every once in a while someone will run a de-stash on their Instagram account. And then actually some people will run their de-stashes on their Etsy store, but they'll just like list in Instagram when things are available. So there's a pretty thriving like marketplace for secondhand cross stitch and cross stitch adjacent items, which is cool if you like going to thrift stores and you find something you know you wouldn't want, but you want to save it for someone else. There's usually a way to get it to someone else. And then also if you like that kind of shopping, then you know, you don't have to worry like, oh, this pattern went out of print, will I ever find it? It's like, oh, you'll find it, because it's kind of like your hobby to find it. And as some people say, collecting is a different hobby than stitching. So items that I have personally bought at thrift stores that are cross stitch adjacent. Now the most common thing, and you'll see that in this video, is that frames, because everybody in the world pretty much owns picture frames of some kind. So thrift stores are flooded with frames. That you get wooden finishing pieces. Like sometimes I'll find like things that are shaped like pumpkins or whatever, and I have to get better at that type of finishing, but those are really common in thrift stores. And then storage solutions, like the basket that I take all my whips to film with Allison is something I thrifted. Like I have tote bags that I've thrifted. I have like cosmetic bags that I have used as project bags, like little things like that. Then craft items like finishing supplies, like it's really common to find bags full of ribbon, or I bought like a lot of fabric from thrift stores, and then some fabric which I've used as finishing, but some is just stored over here for the like when I get better at finishing. And then cross stitch items that I bought at thrift stores are vintage hoops, patterns, complete and partial kits, magazines, and books, and then one binder full of patterns, which was kind of funny. I will say that the most common thrift store in the United States is Goodwill, and I have not found Goodwill to be a great place for cross stitch like specific items. They're really good for the cross stitch like adjacent and craft adjacent items, but actual like patterns and stuff I haven't found a ton in Goodwill, and so that's why I do like to go to a mix of types of stores. Some of the thrift stores that I go to in this video are like independent charity resale shops. Then I also went to one Salvation Army. Salvation Army is not my favorite, but it does exist. And I have bought stuff there. So that's kind of the types of things I buy in cross-stitch stores and the types of things I look for when I go in. But it is fun just to like kind of like browse everything and kind of see. And as I get further into cross stitch, the more I know myself about like what type of frame I really want, or you know, what type of wooden finishing piece I might actually attempt, and what is just like a little too advanced for what I want to deal with. And when I do find cross stitch kits and things, I know I have a better idea of like, should I buy that? Do I really want to stitch it? Do I think that somebody else would want to stitch it, or is it really just like a lost cause? And then when I save, when I buy like save stitches, you know, am I really going to put this up? I haven't been, just because I really haven't had the budget for like saving every stitch that I come across. But Allison and I have been talking about ways that you can, like ways to get those kind of stitches in places that people actually would want. So it's something I'm looking at more and more. All right, so the way this video is going to work is that I filmed a bunch of clips out and about, but some of those clips are just quiet because like for copyright reasons or like just sound quality reasons. If I wasn't talking directly into the camera, I'm just going to record a voiceover. I'm going to watch, I've edited all the clips in order. I'm going to watch it back and record my own voice thoughts. And then so you'll hear those over like the parts of me just like panning stores and stuff. And then I talk a lot in the stores. I really was trying to be conscious of not having anybody else's face in the videos and not talking in stores in a way that was really annoying. Luckily the stores were either like pretty empty or so full nobody cared what anybody was doing. And then at the end I have all the stuff I did get. We'll go through it all and talk about it. All right. Okay, so I may film something that explains what I'm doing, but I may start with this, so I should probably explain what's happening. So we said we were going to do some free pattern videos as our next extra, but Allison is very sick and like not able to like stand up for 15 minutes sick, though I think she's tested negative for COVID, but it sounds like that even though she's not testing positive for it. But anyway, so obviously don't want to stress her out with filming, but thought it'd be a good chance to do like I have some topics that Allison's not super interested or involved with, so I thought it would be fun to do it, like just to pick one of those and run with it. And I posted on my Instagram a poll of, would you guys rather me do a stash dive into the designer Marilyn Levitt Emblem, who does like lavender and lace and told in the garden, or do you want to go thrifting with me? And you guys like overwhelmingly voted to go thrifting with me. So even though the poll is still open, I feel pretty confident in going ahead and filming this, because Saturday is a much better day for thrifting than Sunday. At least where I live, a lot of the thrift stores on Sundays are closed. So, and I also like to go thrifting when I need to get out of my house for a little while, and oh boy, I need to get out of my house for a little while. So I'm going to take you guys thrifting with me. Now, I do have something that I need. I specifically wrote down the measurements and have a tape measure to look for a frame that will fit my Stitch for Pride 2024 by These 20 Stitches, because I know I do not have a frame that will fit it, and having a frame will help keep me motivated to get it finished by the end of the year. Because if I have a frame for it, then I'll know I'll be able to FFO it right away. And I would love to finish it at the beginning-ish of December when the last drop drops. So, and I've been working on it the last few days, and it's just coming along beautifully, even though I'm behind because I started halfway through the year. So I have the dimensions for what I need for a frame like that, and that's like my primary thing I'm going to be looking for. And that's good because we're going to go to a lot of Goodwills, and Goodwills don't tend to have like other cross-stitch stuff as good as they have, but they are great for frames. Now, other things that I always check for, and we will go to some thrift stores that used to be good for cross stitch, but I think I've cleaned them out. I always look for patterns. I try to look at the book section to see if there's a cross stitch book, but sometimes you can't. Like Goodwill's, they're all like jumbled together, so you can't always tell. I do like to look for hoops. One of the places we go, I found hoops before. So yeah, so I'll look for hoops. I'll look for any like cool wooden finishing pieces. Look for the frame that I'm looking for. Look at other frames, see if I find anything good. Look for any patterns or magazines, hoops, any other like cool vintage accessories. If I see like any old sewing machines, I'll probably ogle them, but I won't buy them. I have set myself a budget because I have a huge frame stash. So other than the, like, unless I see something really, really, really worth it, in any other size, I won't get it. Like, because the size I need for Stitch for Pride is kind of a different size. That one's, if I see something good, I'll grab it because I know I don't have one. But if I don't find, I lost my train of thought. But oh, if I see a really super unique, cool frame in like a different size, I'll grab it. But I won't buy any like standard-ish frames because I have a bunch. And then yeah, so we'll just go. We'll just see what's out there. I probably am just going to shoot B-roll in the stores unless the stores are really empty and not be annoying to the people around me, and then record like a voiceover of like what I'm experiencing. But we'll see. I filmed in like for my travel websites. I've done videos where I filmed in public, but that's like, it's more normal to see someone filming at like Stonehenge than like Goodwill. I mean, I know people do a lot of Goodwill videos, but I don't want to like make anyone shopping at Goodwill or any other thrift store uncomfortable. So I'll probably shoot some B-roll like of the stuff and not really do like talking there, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so the first place we're going to go is the Goodwill that's by my house. I've never found cross-stitch stuff there, but I found great, my bangs need to be cut so bad. I need to like text her today and ask for an appointment. This is out of control. Anyway, I have found a ton of great frames there, but I've never found cross-stitch specific stuff there. But because of the type of frame that I need, that might be a good place to start. And then we'll just like keep rolling until I've hit about my time limit for when I have to come back home. Normally I don't get to like just thrift. Normally I'm thrifting like in between other things or like just popping in. So it's kind of exciting to get to go like store to store to store to store. So we'll see how long we can keep going. I have no idea if we'll hit 3 stores, 5 stores, 10 stores. We're just gonna find out. All right, see you next video. I don't know. All right, so I passed by another thrift shop by my house that I was hoping would be open, but I don't fully understand their hours, and that's the one where I found all of the great cross-stitch stuff that I shared on the channel, and I don't think there's any chance they've gotten more in because I cleared them out of like probably 10 years of stash. So I'm at Goodwill number 1. We're gonna keep track of how many Goodwills I go to because there are at least 5 in the like area that I go to regularly, but like I'll just dip into each one like every once in a while. So we'll see what happens if I hit all 5 in one day. I don't know if I can make it. And then there's at least 2 other shops in Edmond I want to go to, which is the town that I'm from. That's one town over. And then we'll see if I have time after those 7 stores to go anywhere else. But thank goodness that this is required and for the channel and not just for fun, because now I don't have to feel guilty about this at all. Okay, so the first thing I always do when I go into a Goodwill is check what color is 50% off. And also they'll have seasonal stuff out first. I was hoping I might find like a cool wooden finishing piece on this Halloween table, but nothing that really was for me. I love to check purses in case there is a bag that would double as a good project bag. I almost bought a file cabinet like that to store patterns, and then instead I did an Instagram de-stash because I was like, I don't want this many patterns. That shape is really cool. I like that frame shape. I have a ton of 8x10 frames, so I'm not really in the market for 8x10s. I really liked this frame, the character of it and the shape of it. And the picture in it is something I wouldn't feel guilty about taking out, but this is the thrift store by my house. Like this frame I saw before, and I passed before, but now it's 50% off. So sometimes by my house, I'll wait because I know I'll be back relatively quickly. So this is 50% off. So this frame's not, and I love this frame, but I have a lot of frames like this in this size, so I don't need it. But when I would check for it is like, this is the kind that I would normally get if I didn't have a house full of frames. I just gotta finish some things, so I'm allowed to buy more just fun frames. But this one of the things I learned when we were doing our state fair piece is that we needed more square like frames, and the fact that it's gonna be $2 is like perfect. That white frame, I saw, like I have frames like that at home already in like other colors, but those frames are really cool. You can't rescue every frame. So like these trays, I'm constantly on the lookout for a tray that would make a cute finish, but these trays are like, they're priced right, but they're too big. And then if I was the kind of person who like planned ahead and did teachers gifts and actually like finished things and knew how to fix them to baskets, how cute would these be? These are like $2 as teacher gifts, and there's like 3 of them. And I am not that kind of person, so I'm not going to get them, but they're so cute. Frames are kind of like all over the place because there's like frames in the frame plate, like in the frame sections, but then they're also, find them kind of scattered through the knickknacks, and then sometimes in the knickknacks are like cute things that would be good for finishing in light, but like I said, I'm not good at those kind of finishes. But I do like to check and sometimes grab, like I have a little stash of things that would make good finishing pieces, and I gotta watch the tutorials and learn how to use them. They have so many knickknacks, and you just kind of got to go through and like just take a little peek at everything. This blue circle mirror, I love it, but it's $6, so I'm not going to get it. But I think it looks so cool because it has that rope like with a piece inside it, and if I go back and it's on sale, then I will grab it, but we'll see. Wooden pieces, some of which would make cool finishing pieces. Again, I just don't have the talent. Oh, save stitches. I mean, stitches that need to be saved. I don't have the budget to save these today, but it's fun to come across stitches. And this little square frame, it's not really a frame, like it doesn't pop out, but I am gonna get it because I really like the color and character of the frame. It's 50% off, so it's like, I think it was less than $1. Whoa, I never find like real fiber art stuff here. I'm not gonna get it. Well, it's an ornate deer stocking felt applique. It's only $2. Maybe I will get it. I have a hard time with the books at Goodwill because they're not really organized, so it's hard to know like if I'm missing things. All right, time to check out of store number 1. Okay, so I left the store and I realized I'm gonna cut out something that I said about the tag colors that was incorrect. And actually, Allison and my brother's girlfriend used to work at Goodwill, and I think it'd be kind of fun to like get all the insider Goodwill shopping tips. However, let me show you what I got and what my final total was from Goodwill number 1. So I got this, which again, I'll have to use it as a whatever I finish in it will have to be like inserted in, but I think it's like, I love the color of the frame and the character of the frame. I don't know if I'll keep the twine or not. It depends on when it's time to finish. I got this Dimensions felt applique kit for $179. Not something I would have expected, but it was just exciting to see it, and I know either I'll try it or I will give it away or I'll put it in my de-stash drawer. Like I know it'll go to a good home if I don't use it. And then I got this frame for $2. And funny story, like, so this frame will be annoying to take apart because it's not like, it's like it was sold as like art altogether, but I still think it's like a good frame. Interesting character, $2, you can't beat it. But when she was ringing it up, she said this tag is from another store, and somebody had bought it and donated again, and then they just didn't realize it was the old tag, so it was still half off. But yeah, so apparently now 2 people have bought this from Goodwill. Didn't find anything that was the right size for my Stitch for Pride, and I obviously didn't find any other kind of cross stitch stuff. And now we have to go to the next town over. So I'm not gonna go to a Goodwill next. I'm gonna try to go to one of the other stores and see if there's any more cross stitchy specific things. Okay, so I'm at the EARC. I've been here, there's a few EARCs around town. I've been to this one before and found like a really cool frame, but I haven't bought much here. But they do have a needlework section. Tends to be mostly like sewing and knitting and stuff, but it's much bigger than I've ever seen at a Goodwill as far as like a section. So wish me luck. All right, so I haven't been to this store in a while, but it's really got a lot in it. So you definitely, when you go, you know you're gonna be there for a bit. Oh my gosh, I love like oval frames that are pretty ornate and small. I'm obsessed with this. This is definitely going home with me. And look at this cool little frame that has, oh, I guess I cut out the clip of that frame, but I'll show you guys when, because I bought that frame. Okay, good. I got it. How cool is that? Like, and it was originally $15 and they're selling it for $1. So practically couldn't be a better deal. Guys, look at that. It's $8. It's a big chunk of my budget, but I think I fully have to rescue that lavender and lace. Oh my God. Okay, so that is, I just looked it up. It is Angel of Spring. And then I found this cutie for $1. I don't know what I don't know about this one, but that one's definitely coming up with me unless somebody buys it in the next 5 minutes. Okay, I've been measuring frames. I didn't find any that will work for Stitch for Pride on the fabric count that I chose, because I chose for like a 28. But I'm gonna go look at their stitching stuff. And I put back a couple, I selected a couple frames and I put a couple frames back because I have a lot of frames. So even though they have really good frames here, I just don't need, I need to finish some pieces before I'm allowed to buy a lot more frames. But I did pick a few that were like so unusual and different than I've seen anywhere else. All right, like I said, this place is full. This is the fiber arts and crafts in general, I guess, section. They have lots of sewing, lots of quilting, lots of knitting, crochet. There's some cross stitch stuff, but it's not for some reason it's not just its own little section. I don't even know though if like resin, that could be cool for something. Sewing patterns. If I knew anything about vintage sewing patterns. Now this cross stitch kit, I did pass on it, but how funny that they had that the name was Stephanie. Very 80s. Okay, this is cool. This is plastic canvas. And for $3, it's like a full box. Now I did not save these stitches, but I do wonder if maybe I should have not saved it because, I also didn't save the needle point. This saving the hoop, because, like, so I wonder if that was a vintage hoop, but I didn't save it. I didn't save either. And that needle point's been there for a really long time. And then you can see, like, basically if I ever wanted ribbons, I should never purchase them from anywhere that wasn't a thrift store. And I mean, this place has just got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. So you just can't really go in with less than 45 minutes. Now, Marissa from Enkifsa Creations, this is totally your vibe, correct? These geese? Okay, I'm just gonna do like an overall haul at the end. But my total was like less than $17, and I got a fully stitched and professionally framed lavender and lace, and a few frames and a bunch of plastic canvas that I've never used. That will be interesting. So, and if you're paying attention, that means that I'm like almost at my budget that I set for the day. I obviously didn't expect to find a lavender and lace, and that place had like amazing frames. I put so many frames back. So I'm going to keep going. We're going to see what happens to my budget. And I'm going to try, we'll see. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna go to the next place, which is also just a regular thrift store and not a Goodwill, and then we'll do a few Goodwills and maybe a Salvation Army. It really depends. It's almost 3 o'clock and I want to be done not too late, so we'll see what happens. So this is a charity resale shop that I go to a lot. I just bought my used sewing machine there and some frames, so I don't know what they'll have gotten since I was here last. I did this last time and I probably won't get it this time, but it's like, wouldn't this make a cute Christmas board for like a flat fold finish to like clip onto? Then it just like stands up. This is the like sewing crafty section. They also have bags where you have to buy the whole bag. That looks like yarn. And I don't know what these are. And then there's like some crafty and quilt patterns. There have been a bunch of copies of this one quilt pattern here for a while. I did pass. In the craft bin, we've got lots. There's always like stamps and paper crafting and that kind of stuff, but I have bought like vintage cross stitch patterns, and I did get a vintage hoop here in this basket, so I'm always hopeful when I go into this basket there'll be something I really want. That's like a stamp kit, not cross stitch related, but cool. They sell their cosmetic bags for $1, so I always check and see. Sometimes there's something that would be a cute project bag, but not today. And I really want one of these chairs to cross stitch. Caterpillar Cross Stitch made a reel about doing one and it was really cool. This quilt is $125. Frames and frames and frames and frames. I do love their frames. Okay, this guy's not in the budget. Well, look at this. Prairie Schooler Santa. I do think it was on like 11 count. That's got to be Prairie Schooler, right? More frames. The way they do their big artwork is really nice. I didn't find anything that I'm going to buy today, but I did find a frame that would fit my Stitch for Pride. It's not like one that's particularly sturdy or one that I really want, but I just feel better knowing that those frames exist in nature and I don't need to start budgeting for custom framing. Not quite yet. Okay, so I'm getting tired. You can see my girl back there. I'm going to do this Goodwill that I just drove to, and then I'm going to do one more store after this and then call it a day. This is the Goodwill that is closest to my son's school, and since I thrift when I'm annoyed, sometimes I need to thrift immediately after drop-off. I've been here recently and gone, this place has like the best frame organization of any Goodwill I've been to, but I got a bunch of stuff here a couple weeks ago. I don't think they're gonna have like a ton of stuff, but I'm gonna check it out. All right. This Goodwill is just so well organized. I know they all seem the same, but they're not. They're all different. And the furniture section, nothing here. I really am not in the market for much furniture, but nothing today. And then how crazy would it be to do like a building block style piece on that and repaint it? Big frames and artwork. Nothing today. Oh, look at these frames, like all spread out and organized. They're not all just shoved together. Checking out, somebody was like, why are you buying so many frames? And I was like, I'm a cross stitcher, and we like finished our pieces. And then the guy who was checking me out said that he has worked on like this frame organization like for years, and it is like a major achievement. And for real it is, because most thrift store frame shopping is really hard. But this is just like, you don't have to break things to see things. I meant their vintage screw top hoops. They're $3 each. That's probably a good deal considering that they're all 6-inch. They were made in Taiwan. They're not the kind I use, and I really don't want to hold on to a bunch of hoops that I don't use, and they're not really, Allison doesn't like that size, so I'm going to pass. But I never see vintage hoops at Goodwill. So that was really exciting. Okay, I kind of like this. I'm not taking it home, but I like it. And then this frame is like just a tiny bit too small for what I need. I need like 12 by 17 to 14 by 19, basically based on like the size of my piece and the margin. So I'm just carrying this around with me so that I can tell quickly if a frame is bigger or smaller than this, so I don't bother picking it up if it's smaller. I'm not going to buy this, but how cute would it be if you just stuck a finished Christmas cross stitch in there and hung it on the wall? Maybe I will. It's $4. I'm going to think about it because it would be so cute, but also, I don't know. I'm going to think about it. Look at this frame for like a patriotic stitch. Now, I definitely am going to pass on this, but it would be very cute. Like, look at this little sign you could use for like a flat fold finish. If I was that kind of... I know. I knocked this over. Okay, I'm not good at doing this while I'm talking. Okay, if I was good enough to do a flat fold finish on something like that, that would be very cute. I am not, so I'm going to pass. I'm going to try not to hurt anything. Like a little finish in this would be cute. But some of these I'd be more tempted by if they were a little bit less expensive because they would just, I don't have anything that I could put in them. But this, I feel like I am going to do a bunch of Christmas stitching. This might have to come home with me. It's really cool and weird. An alert now. Probably not something I'm going to buy. But look, there's bobbins in here. Now you can't open the bags that have multiple stuff. You can't open them or they won't sell them to you. So this whole bag is $25. So I'm not going to buy it for some probably knockoff DMC when the bulk of what it is like apples and other things. But bobbin alert. How cute would this be if you were the kind of person who could figure out how to put something in there? Again, I just don't have that kind of talent. I can like hot glue or duct tape something behind something. Like I feel like this I could really make happen. But some of these other ones are so cute. But I don't have the skill level for it. Maybe in a few years. We have an American flag macrame kit, which is it was in a bag that's labeled $4. And the bag comes with all this other stuff, but it's open, so I don't know if they'll sell it. I also don't need a macrame kit, but that's kind of cool. 1 million pipe cleaners. I'm not going to get this, but how cool would it be to buy this old box and put a finished cross stitch like in the lid? Ugh. I don't have anything that big that's going to be finished anytime soon, but that would be so cool. It's like, it's crazy. I love it. Another good box. This one actually has a good place you can put one inside of it. Or on top of it. I would love to get this. I'm not going to get it, but this, like, how cool would it be to put like the Prairie Schooler Year smalls as in there in little pillow form. More books, but I have a really hard time buying books at Goodwill. Okay, so I put the Christmas thing back because I just was like, I think it would be really cool, but I also don't have any plans to do any finishing for Christmas that's not an ornament or like, I don't have anything like that. Anyway, so I put it back. I did go ahead and get this box that I don't even know if I filmed, but I'll show you guys when we're done. Okay, I'm at the Salvation Army. I've only ever found one cross stitch item here, but it was a kit that I actually stitched. That Pioneer Woman dog that I showed in our recent finished parade, fully finished. So I don't really know what to expect, but it's not that big, and it's I think the Salvation Army is a little overpriced compared to Goodwill, but we'll see what they got. All right, here we go. Goodwill lets you return things. I hate that the Salvation Army doesn't. They are usually really well organized. Today there was some, it was not as well organized. Look, some stitches. I think that's needlepoint. And I love that frame. That is just like that white frame I saw at the first Goodwill though, and I have a couple of them, so I'm gonna pass because it's $5. More frames. And oh, look at that. Okay. This mirror is wonderful. It's $10, so I'm not gonna get it because I don't know what I put in it. But like, how crazy would that be for like a Nora or something? That's cool. Look, a counted cross stitch kit. Counted thread cross stitch teddy. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but I might check it on eBay real quick. This looks stitched, but up close you can tell it's just stamped, and it's not like a kit or anything that you stitch over it, but it's pretty. I'm not getting it, but it's pretty. 12 Days of Christmas. That would be really cool to put a cross stitch in and use it as a frame. Now this, if I had 3 tiny nautical themed cross stitches to go together, that would be an amazing way to finish them. I don't remember the price. And that lamp is cute. I've seen like prairie schoolers and stuff finished in lamps. Not that exact style, but see that hoop? I totally missed that. I didn't even check it out. This is where the like bigger art. Okay, I found these Christmas gift tags that I think would make really cute Christmas floss drops. Now it's kind of annoying because we're at the thrift store and they're marked a cent more than the original price. And like that kind of stuff does not appreciate in price, but whatever, I think they're really good. I just found this really sweet stitched piece. I'm not gonna save it, but it's very sweet to his mother. It's like a prayer to someone's mother-in-law. I love this tray. It would make a great sewing tray, or you could put it, like finish a piece in it. I'm not gonna get it, but it is. One day I will find the perfect tray for me. Today's not that day. They do have like a lot of cool wooden things. Again, I think I'm at capacity for cute wooden finishing pieces until I use some of the ones I have. But they've got some good stuff. And they're bigger art. I don't see anything that I really need. All right, so that was my visit to 5 thrift stores. Final tally was only 2 Goodwills because I ended up going to that Salvation Army and I only made it to 5 stores. And I spent so much of my budget at the EARC, which is a charity resale shop, that first one. But still, I think I did pretty good. My final, like, budget total was, well, we'll get into that in a minute. Let me show you guys what I got, like the actual up close. First, let me start with her. Oh, you can see the reflection pretty bad. Let's see. Okay, there we go. That's better. So this is Angel Spring by Lavender and Lace. It is dated on the back July 31st, 1995. And this is a custom frame. And the beading detail is so good. I mean, it's done really beautifully. It is stitched on Aida. It's like on a light blue Aida. As you can see, it was $8. And there's like some stuff under the glass over here that looks like dirt. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. It might be that I hang it. So I have another Lavender and Lace piece that I bought in May. The quilt maker that's hanging on my office wall. This may go above that. And so therefore, like the smudges, or not the smudges, whatever it is under the frame that's a little bit dirty, probably won't bother me because I won't even be able to see it. Because I am going to keep it and hang it up. But, yeah. I mean, just like. So for those of you that voted for the Marilyn Levitt emblem stash dive, well, I did add to my stash by saving these stitches. And they're just, I mean, really can't, like the frame. If I were to take it out of the frame and reuse the frame, that frame for $8 would be a good deal by itself. But like, it also has an entire stitched piece in it. So it's amazing. The other things I got from that specific store are, so I got this cool frame for $1 that you can put a piece in the middle and then decide, you know, this has like texture and dimensionality to it, which I think is really cool. And then love of my life. I don't like this like in the store it looks blue. Here it looks like it could be like it's kind of a very dark navy. But like, how cute would two little like animal portraits or something stitched in here be? And then it just sits on a desk. I love that. I could also put pictures of my children in it, I guess. It's like, we'll see. And then I did go ahead and save these stitches because what I decided was, inside the frame, they're kind of, the frame is like messed up. So you can see the stitches are really big. They're like, this is probably an 11 count. Maybe a 12 count. Maybe a 7 count. Like these are big stitches. And this piece is signed 97. They might even be by the same stitcher, I don't know. But I decided I love this frame. The square frame is, look at all of the character and stuff. And so for $1, it was worth it. Yeah, for $1, it was worth it just to save the frame. And then if it was any other piece of art, I probably still would have been drawn to this green wooden frame. And then I think I'm going to take the stitches out and reuse them. So I'll take them out, and then when I have, this is what, I'm going to put this on my wall as is, and then when I get something I want to put in it, I'll take the stitches out. Because there's no point in having the stitches in a drawer when they could be on the wall. But I don't think long term they'll be in the frame, but I think it'd be the kind of cute thing. It would be cute like on a project bag or something. All right, so from that store, I also got this bag of plastic canvas that I have not opened. And this doesn't look like the kind of plastic canvas we usually use. This looks like a Bargello project, but again, I don't know because I didn't go through it. It would be fun to go through it with you guys. So, yeah, I think, okay, so this is Kitchen Accessory Ideas made with plastic canvas booklet. And the stitches it shows look like, I don't know if this is technically Bargello, or which I think is a form of needlepoint, or if it's just like, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of cool. I don't know if I'll keep this booklet because I don't think I would do that project. But you can see like some of the stitch pieces there. But this plastic canvas, which is probably also like a 7 or 8 count, would be cool to do some like fun big stitches on. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if you guys can think of a reason for me to keep, I think this is Bargello. For me to keep these like previously stitched ones, it's like, it seems like somebody was in the process of doing one of the projects, and their stitches are very pretty. But I could definitely do like a cross stitch in like yarn. Oh, it has the needle for this side for this, so that's good to know. Let's not lose that. Okay, I'm gonna separate the stitch stuff out. If you can think of a reason I should keep it, tell me. Otherwise, if I haven't heard from you guys in a while, I'll toss it. I don't know how much plastic canvas really is, so I don't know like what a good deal this was. If it was a great deal or an okay deal or not a deal. But it looks like there's a lot of them, and they're kind of like pre-cut ornament sizes. So if I could figure out what this is, I could probably do some cute little finishes and just like kit them up in yarn. Or I guess I could test, I bet I would need yarn, but I could test what it looks like with like the full 6 strands of DMC, or maybe even 12. Do people do things with 12 strands of DMC ever? I don't know, but that would be kind of cool. Let me put this away. I've never stitched with plastic canvas, so to have a stack of like ornament size pieces that are this big seems cool. But yeah, I don't want to hold on to things I do not need, and I'm not going to frog that. This also came in this bag. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is cute. Okay. I think this is a bag that you could cross stitch on. It has little, that's super cute. You could totally, whatever you stitch with the plastic canvas, you could totally cross stitch that bag. And then, I don't know what this is. This is like, it looks like it's full of beads or something. I don't know. I don't know if opening this is a Pandora's box situation. Definitely want to save this needle. It also came with a American Baby Concept false bottom. It attaches to crochet. Oh, I don't know. This is it's cute but also weird. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I don't know. Sometimes when you buy like grab bags, you just don't even know what you're coming home with. Okay, I don't know how to open this. It seems like it's full of beads, but I don't know if I actually want it. But I'll deal with that later. Okay, so that was that charity shop. That altogether was $16.24. Okay. I guess I need to reassemble this because it's going to take up too much space. Okay, what else did I get? Alright, so that the second Goodwill that I went to where I said I got a box but I didn't film it. I realized I didn't show it when I was getting it, but I really like it. Okay, so look at this box. So this was $4. I wish it had been on half off, but it wasn't, but that's okay. So it's a little box, and I think these are like 4 keys. I'm sure I could figure something else out to hold, but then look, this 10 piece is in there with screws. I can take the 10 out and put a cross stitch in it, and then it has hooks to go on the wall. So I could hang like it up as like a framed cross stitch, but then secret compartment. But I love stuff like that. So I think that's super cool. I just got to figure out what the measurements are for that, and then keep an eye out for if any of my projects or any patterns I have would work really well for that. Then the thing that I got at this, oh, that was $4.32. And then the tags I got at the Salvation Army ended up being $2.15 with tax. I'm going to use these as floss straps to kit up my the Christmas pattern I'm starting in October, a small gift. But you can see some of these are really cool, and then the snowman is kind of weird and creepy, but that will be fun. Again, I don't think $2 for this was like a good deal by any means, when you can get like 25 gift tags for like $1 or $2, but I do like them. I will use them instantly, so I'm happy I found them. And then the last place, which was actually the first place that I went, is where I got this frame, which was $3.99, but it was half off, so it was $2. This frame, which is not really a frame, it's like a wooden piece that I would have to take this out and tape something into, not tape. I mean, I probably would tape it, but theoretically you wouldn't use tape. But do like a flat finish and finish it in there. And this was, oh, the tag came off. That was $2.99, but it was red tax that was $1.50. And then this Dimensions felt kit, which was $1.79, and which I looked up on eBay and has sold 7 times this year for between $16 and $21. So I'm not going to stitch it, and I'm not going to put it on eBay or anything yet, but I do have an idea of a game I'm going to play with myself with this stocking. And it was just cool anyway, just to have a wool applique or felt applique Dimensions kit of any kind. And yeah, totally crazy that I ended up, that if I were gonna sell it, would probably be like the most valuable thing here, because like some of these frames would save me a lot of money, but wouldn't like, I could also just go find other things that are like exactly like them at other places. That lavender and lace piece, I'm gonna keep it. But if I wanted to sell it in one of the Facebook de-stash groups, I could probably get $20 or $30 for it. But we all know like selling cross stitch finished pieces is not where it's at. So that is everything that I got, and like some of the more interesting details about some of the pieces. And I did not add it up yet, so let me do that real quick and give you my grand total. I did go over my budget a little bit. My laptop, oh yeah, you can see it. My laptop is right here. 4 plus 4, 32. Okay, so my grand total was $28.48. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames, a cool frame box, gift tags to turn into floss drops, a dimensions kit that I probably will resell at a later point when I play this game with myself, and a fully stitched lavender lace. So for less than $29, I think I did really, really, really well. If I sold the lavender lace kit, or not, if I sold the dimensions kit, a little bit of a, like if I got like the best price I could get for it, I might even cover everything I spent. But okay, so that was, thank you for going thrifting with me. That was really fun. If you like this video, I could definitely do this again sometime when Allison is sick or is busy, because I do not need a good excuse to want to go to a thrift store. Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, the Stitch for Pride piece that I was looking for a frame for technically will fit in a 12 by 16, but I would only have like a 1/4 inch margin. So I will do that if it like comes to it, but I really would like to find one that will show a little bit more of the fabric, because I think the fabric is so pretty. And then this blue frame that I got, I think is perfect for the Coastal Cola piece that I'm working on. So I'm going to tag that to save it for that piece. All right, there are a few cross stitch Flosstube accounts on YouTube that I want to shout out as definitely places you should check out if you love cross stitch thrifting and buying secondhand and buying used cross stitch equipment. The first I'll say is Rosanna from Bright and Dusty. It's like almost embarrassing how many times I've recommended her channel in the last few videos, but she has great thrift store and flea market haul. She always is showing stitches that she saved. Like she tries in every video to show saved stitches and tell stories and show like thrifted haul. I mean, she also has an Etsy store where she sells vintage and upcycled jewelry, and she has really great taste. So I get the feeling that she's going to flea markets for both things, and so has extra incentive to go. But if you haven't checked out her channel yet, definitely check out. It's Bright and Dusty, and I will link that below. And then also Hannah from Microbiologist Makes is a huge thrifter and always covers thrifting as a topic whenever she posts a floss tube. And then Hobbies of Holly. She doesn't always talk about like thrift stores, but if you like just general secondhand shopping and like Facebook Marketplace and antique stores, and you know, definitely watch Hobbies of Holly. And then a couple of floss tubes, like if you want like a fresh hit of like thrift store goodness, like today, the most recent videos from Cam the Stitcher and from Alara both have like very good thrifted haul in them. Cam found a frame that is giving like total Lindsay Swearingen vibes, that was like hand carved. I mean, it's really good. And Alara found a book that was listed on our 25 most expensive cross stitch books. And also like a ton of fabric and like so many things. So go check out both of those most recent floss tubes if you're seeing this kind of like in real time and you want to see just like more thrift stuff like right now. But all those channels are great. And then 2 Instagrams you can follow. Stitch X Love. Donna is always finding cool stuff. She found like possibly the best cross stitch secondhand haul I've ever heard of, like yesterday or the day before at a church rummage sale, and was posting it. But she also will send, sometimes she'll come across patterns that she doesn't want and she'll send them to us to do as giveaways. So she is Stitch_X_Love on Instagram. I will link that below. And then Hedwig McButterfly is not a cross stitch specific account. However, she's like, she lives in somewhere in the UK, and she is a like Edwardian dressing account, which I like to follow accounts of people who dress in very specific time frames. I wouldn't do it. My sister Valerie once accused me of doing that, and I actually do not dress in medieval garb, Valerie, but I do love watching other people do things like that. And Hedwig McButterfly's account, she's got like an Edwardian parlor, but she does on her Instagram account, she'll pull two cross stitch, or not cross stitch, she'll pull two antiques that she bought at an antique store or a thrift store, and ask you if you can figure out what they are. And that is really fun. So I will link to those two Instagram accounts below, and you should definitely check all of those out if you like this topic in general. And then if you made it to this point in the video, leave a little money emoji for all of that money that we saved, or didn't save, cross-stitch thrifting. So thank you so much. Bye, guys.